January 18th, 2025, 3 p.m., Meerpet Police Station, Hyderabad. Gurumurthy, in a panicked state, arrives at the Meerpet Police Station with his in-laws. He tells the police officer that his wife, Madhavi, has not returned home since she left. Madhavi's mother informs the police that on January 16th, 2 days earlier, when Madhavi did not answer her calls, they assumed she was busy with household chores due to the Sankranti festival. However, after an entire day passed and Madhavi still did not call back, they became worried. The next day, they tried calling her again, but she still did not answer. Since there was never a day when they did not speak to their daughter, they grew anxious. To find out about their daughter, they called their son-in-law, Gurumurthy. However, what Gurumurthy told them increased their worry even more. He said that Madhavi had left home after a heated argument with him, and he assumed she had gone to her parental home. 2 days had passed since Madhavi left, yet she had neither reached her parental home nor contacted anyone over the phone. This made her parents fear the worst. When a loved one suddenly disappears, worry and fear are natural, but when unanswered questions start piling up, suspicion deepens. Out of concern for their daughter, Madhavi's parents immediately traveled 300 kilometers from Nandial to their daughter's residence in Lalagudda. Upon reaching there, they, along with Gurumurthy, went to the police station and filed a missing persons report for Madhavi. A simple missing complaint or something more? Although this seemed like a straightforward missing complaint, the reality was far more complex. Since Gurumurthy was the last person to see Madhavi, the police questioned him. Gurumurthy told the police that Madhavi had been insisting on going to her parental home for the past 2 days, but he wanted to celebrate Sankranti at his sister's house with family. His children were also staying there due to the festival. Keeping this in mind, Gurumurthy refused to let Madhavi leave. This upset her and she stormed out of the house after an argument. Since Sankranti is celebrated grandly for 4 days in Telangana, Madhavi leaving home in anger during the festival made Gurumurthy even angrier, and he did not stop her. He told the police that when Madhavi did not return after hours, he went to his sister's house late at night to pick up his children. When the children asked about their mother, he lied, saying she had gone to a friend's house to avoid worrying them. He believed that wherever Madhavi had gone, she would return home for the children's sake, so he did not try to locate her immediately. However, the next morning, he called Madhavi, but her phone was switched off. He assumed she had turned it off in anger. After this, he left for work at DRDO Township in Kanchanbag, where he worked as a security guard. That evening, after his shift ended, he returned home, expecting Madhavi to be there. But when he found the house empty, he felt a deep sense of unease. He immediately called her again, but her phone was unreachable. As panic set in, he was about to call relatives to check on her when just then, Madhavi's mother called him. The case takes a new turn. Based on the statements of Gurumurthy and Madhavi's parents, the police initially treated this as a missing persons case. While they were investigating, an unexpected character entered the scene, revealing shocking details about Madhavi. These revelations shook the police to their core. This case was no longer just about a missing person. A secret was about to be unveiled that would shake not only Meerpet, but the entire nation. A story that shocked the nation. This is the building where something very, very horrific is said to have happened in mid-January. You're watching the case of Madhavi and Gurumurthy. Gurumurthy and Madhavi had settled in Venkatapuram, Prakasam district. They had 2 children, a son and a daughter. At that time, Gurumurthy was serving as a Naib Subedar in the army, while Madhavi was a homemaker. After serving in the army for 17 years, Gurumurthy took retirement in 2020 and moved to Hyderabad with his family. They started living in a rented 2-story house in Venkateshwara Colony, Lalagudda. According to Gurumurthy, on January 16, 2025, after a usual argument between husband and wife, Madhavi left home in anger. Initially, it seemed like a minor domestic dispute. However, the police had some crucial questions. Did Madhavi really leave home in anger? Or was this case far deeper than it seemed? The police began their investigation by questioning Gurumurthy's neighbors. What they learned was surprising. None of them had seen Madhavi in the past few days. In fact, they did not even know that she was missing, as some of them had gone to their villages for Sankranti celebrations. The people in the neighborhood hardly knew anything about Gurumurthy's family. Even after living there for 5 years, the family had kept to themselves. They never interacted with anyone, and their children never played with other kids in the area. This extreme level of reservation seemed odd to the police. However, what shocked them even more was the revelation that was about to unfold. The person we mentioned earlier was none other than Madhavi's uncle. He had come to the police station and made such startling revelations that left everyone stunned. He declared Madhavi will never return because Gurumurthy has killed her. He himself confessed this to me. In cases like these, the first suspicion always falls on the victim's partner. But to verify the truth behind his words, the police intensified their investigation in Jalalagada. The police then turned their attention to a CCTV camera installed in a house right opposite Gurumurthy's residence. Determined to uncover the truth, they began scanning the footage. Soon, they found that on the night of January 15th at 10:04 p.m., Gurumurthy and Madhavi were seen entering the house together. But the shocking part, in the footage from the following days, Madhavi was never seen leaving the house. This meant that she had entered the house but never came out. The police were now certain that something terrible had happened inside that house. With Madhavi's uncle's statement in mind, the police were left with several crucial questions. If Madhavi had been missing since January 16th, why did Gurumurthy take so long to file a missing complaint? If Madhavi never left the house, then where was she? After all, there was only one way in and out of that house. To get answers, the police summoned Gurumurthy to the station and began interrogating him. At first, he tried to mislead them repeatedly, but when the officers confronted him with the CCTV footage and pressed him hard, he finally broke down and revealed the horrifying truth. His confession wasn't just an admission of guilt. It was a tale of sheer brutality that showed how low a human could stoop. Gurumurthy confessed, on the morning of January 16th at 8 a.m., Madhavi started insisting on going back to her home. I told her clearly that she wouldn't go to her house, but instead to her sister Sujata's house. This led to an argument between us. He continued, Madhavi was furious. In anger, she took off her Mangalsutra and threw it at my face. That was it. I was already enraged, and this hurt my ego even more. I lost control. I grabbed her by the neck and smashed her head against the wall with such force she instantly collapsed, unconscious. Pausing for a moment, he then added chillingly, she was still breathing, but I tightened my grip around her neck and strangled her. I didn't stop until I was sure she was dead. After killing his wife, panic gripped Gurumurthy. He feared that his children, who were at their aunt's house at the time, might find out about the murder. He knew he had to dispose of Madhavi's body in a way that no one would ever find it. Because without a dead body, proving a crime becomes almost impossible. As he was thinking of ways to get rid of the body, a scene from the Malayalam movie Sukshma Darshini came to his mind. In the movie, a man kills his sister and uses chemicals to dissolve her body completely before flushing it down the toilet. Inspired by this, Gurumurthy had found his solution. However, he didn't have access to such chemicals, so he began searching the internet for ways to dissolve a body using household items. After hours of research, he decided on a gruesome plan. He carried Madhavi's body to the bathroom, undressed her, and then used a kitchen knife to dismember her into 4 parts. He then started cutting the pieces into smaller fragments. Some of these he boiled using a water heater, while others he roasted directly on the stove. The man inside Gurumurthy had died long ago. Only a monster could do this so coldly to someone he had shared years of his life with. As he was in the middle of this gruesome act, an unbearable stench started filling the house. It became so overpowering that he was forced to open the kitchen window. But as soon as he did, the smell began spreading to the neighboring houses. The neighbors, disturbed by the smell, step out of their homes and notice that the smoke and stench are coming from Gurumurthy's house. When they question him about it, he tells them that he is cooking talakaya kura, a mutton curry, and the smell is from boiling a goat's head. Since they have no reason to suspect otherwise, they return to their homes. Gurumurthy cleverly escapes suspicion and goes back inside to continue cooking the body parts. As the meat boils, it easily separates from the bones. He then crushes the softened bones into powder using a pestle. While he flushes the flesh down the toilet several times, he collects the powdered bones in an empty paint bucket and later disposes of them in the Lilaguda Lake, 4 kilometers away. After completely disposing of the body, he returns home and meticulously cleans the house with detergent and fennel until every trace of blood is erased. To remove the lingering stench, he sprays room freshener everywhere. After taking all these precautions, Gurumurthy does not want to leave any room for error. He checks every corner of the house to ensure nothing is left behind. Once satisfied, he locks the bedroom where he dismembered the body. After erasing all traces of Madhavi, he heads to his sister's house late at night to bring his children back home. Gurumurthy confessed the entire incident to the police without any remorse or guilt. Following his confession, the police immediately begin collecting evidence from his house. The FSL team uses Blu-ray technology to spot bloodstains, fingerprints, or body fluids that are invisible to the naked eye. After 3 hours of investigation, the FSL team finds some blood samples in the bathroom, which are sent to the forensic lab for analysis. Additionally, the police collect 16 pieces of evidence, including knives, a stove, and buckets, and send them for examination. This case became infamous as the Meerpet Cooker Case, because initially, the media reported that Gurumurthy had boiled the body parts in a pressure cooker. However, later, the police revealed that no cooker was involved, and it was not even included in their list of 16 pieces of evidence. Another police team extensively searched Lilaguda Lake for Madhavi's body remains for several days. They found some strong evidence, but since Gurumurthy had misled them multiple times during the investigation, they took him to reconstruct the crime scene not once or twice, but 3 times. The ones suffering the most from Gurumurthy's brutal crime were his young children, who had lost their mother forever. When the police questioned them, they said that when their father brought them home, they noticed a strange smell, and their mother was nowhere to be seen. The children had no idea that their father was the one who had killed their mother. When they asked Gurumurthy about her whereabouts, he lied, saying that she had gone to a friend's house. After questioning the children, the police collected DNA samples from them and Madhavi's mother to match with the blood samples found at the crime scene. After investigating the case from every angle, the police concluded that this was not a crime of passion, but a premeditated murder. They believed that Gurumurthy had been planning to kill Madhavi for a long time and was waiting for the right opportunity. That opportunity came during the Sankranti festival, when their neighbors and landlord had left for their villages. Gurumurthy had planned everything meticulously, but his only concern was that if he killed Madhavi at home, his children would witness the murder. So on the 14th, he dropped the children off at his sister's house and returned home alone with Madhavi. Once he got the chance, he executed his gruesome crime. While the police believe it was premeditated murder, they have not identified a clear motive. However, some news reports suggest that Gurumurthy was having an extramarital affair with one of Madhavi's close relatives. When Madhavi discovered this, it led to frequent arguments between them. This might have driven Gurumurthy to kill her so he could be with the other woman. But how much truth is there to this claim? That may never be known. Gurumurthy has confessed to the crime, but only he knows how much of his confession is true, as he is far more cunning than expected. In murder cases, the victim's body is crucial in securing a conviction. In this case, the investigative team has not found any conclusive evidence related to Madhavi's body. While they have blood samples, only the DNA report can confirm if they belong to Madhavi. If the DNA samples do not match, Madhavi will be legally considered a missing person. Even if they do match, there is no guarantee that Gurumurthy will be convicted. For now, the police have charged him under IPC sections 1031, 238, and 85. The man whom Madhavi once vowed to spend 7 lifetimes with had not just killed her, he had committed 2 murders. First, he killed the loving husband inside him. Then, wrapped in a shroud of cruelty, he erased Madhavi and their vows from existence. Gurumurthy has demanded to represent himself in court. Perhaps he believes that he can escape punishment by manipulating legal loopholes. After all, the law demands evidence and witnesses. But imagine, if walls could testify, how many hidden horrors would come to light. They say that outside the house, everything seemed happy, but inside, the walls silently bore witness to betrayal after betrayal.